All right. Peace, peace. I don't know. See how it go. All right. Peace, peace. Peace, everybody. We back with another controversial one. You joining me, your host again, N.Lynch. Let's talk. So this is pretty much just a part two from my live stream I did like early this morning, and I kind of just want to piggyback off of that because um I believe this conversation segue is a segue from the conversation that I had previously. But our future not looking good. Our future not looking real good. Um, you can call it fair mongering. You can say whatever you want. At this point, I really don't even care. All I care about is pretty much what I see, and what I see what's going on in the world. Um, like for people like on the lower levels, like on the lower tiers, like myself and so many others, like we gonna be lost in the sauce if we don't like prepare accordingly. And on some real on some real shit, like it's probably already too late for real, for real. Like this all this stuff that I'm talking, it might just be like optimism, wishful thinking, because like everything is set in motion. I've been watching the news for the past several hours, just different news outlets. I've been looking at different reports and all that stuff. I'm trying to get better at this live streaming stuff where I can like kind of, because I be seeing people going live and they be putting like the stuff on there with it. I ain't that tech savvy yet. I'm sure I can figure it out. I gotta get my daughter to come over here and help me do all that. But it's a lot of stuff happening, and you got people like Bill Gates, um, like the Walton families, like so many others, like trying to plan our future. And it's like, who gave them the right to say that? Who gave them the authority to say how we should live? Now, I think that I wish that everyone was like on some stuff like value life, but that's wishful thinking. Like, I know that's wishful thinking. That's just like speaking out of my ass. But I wish like everyone was like on something like just value life, value the planet. And like I was saying, this is not like on some kumbaya type stuff. It's just that it's so much negativity. And it's just like negativity begets negativity. And it's like that's energy. Like this whole plane of existence that we live on is all about energy and frequency. Like the universe is built, it's just a whole ball of energy, and energy transfers, and all that negative energy is just like all in the atmosphere, all around, and people was just okay with that. And you got someone like myself and like others who like caught in the crosshairs of it and just living miserable because it's just like um it's just like so much negativity, and I'm not in a position in my life where I can like get away from it all. I wish I can just up and just go, like really get away from it, but I can't. So it's like, all right, what do you do? And you see so many people just living their lives just oblivious, and you got all this shit going on. Look, so Bill Gates farmland.
According to Ag Funder News, today, Bill Gates owns 242,000 acres of farmland in 19 states. In addition, he owns 25,750 acres of transitional land and 1,234 acres of recreational land for total land holdings of 268,984 acres.
That's more than a quarter million uh acres of land that man owns. Like, and you would think, why? So when I looked at the map, and if you go on Google and just say Bill Gates farmland and go to the images, and the images will pop right up, and he owns 16,097 acres of in Washington State, 9,000 in Idaho, um 975 acres of in Wichita, 2,270 in Colorado, 25,750 in Arizona, 4,509 in California, 20,588 in Nebraska, Iowa 522, Illinois 17,940, Arkansas 47,927,000. Like the list goes on, and he's like, and if you see, let me see if I can get that with y'all. Let me see if you can see that. Y'all see that? All the highlighted. That's the stuff that Bill owned right there. Everything that's highlighted green, and it's like all across the country. So he's like, why you got your farmland synchronized like perfectly across the country, up and bottom and everything? Like he pretty much monopolizing the whole damn country. And like I was saying previously, he or she who controls food controls the world because we got to eat. And y'all see how now the avian flu is like going berserk. Like we've always had the avian flu with birds and all that stuff. That's been like something that's been going on for a while. If y'all know anything about that, but now it's at a point where like they killing like tens of millions and millions of chickens a week, and because of it, the ones that's left and healthy, the prices are skyrocketing. Next thing you know, they're gonna be talking about the beef because now we got our eggs and everything, and we got our chicken with that. But then we got the beef and all that stuff, and then they're gonna start talking about the wheat, the grain, and all that, and all that stuff is going to be well, it already is government regulated. Like all the private farm owners, they all but gone. Only ones left is just like little small little towns and all that stuff somewhere in East Bubblefuck, and a lot of that stuff about to go too. So in the next few couple of years, excuse me, this this whole system is about to crash. Remember the 1920s, the Great Depression, the soup lines and all that stuff? Like all that stuff about to be popping off again. It's sort of small kind of levels of it now when you see like the and I don't mind it because that's good. Like I see people like in Philly, like certain times of the day, certain days a week, they'll be out on corners or like at rec centers, and they give out like cans of like canned goods, different canned goods, milk, uh cheese and all that stuff, eggs, all that. But you're gonna have that times like 1,000 or more, and they ain't gonna have food to be given out because everyone gonna be trying to do it. And it's so funny because I remember like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, when I first started noticing people was doing stuff like that, and I see people riding by looking at them like they was too good for it, and I'm like, all right, some shit pop off, y'all gonna be right there with them in them lines trying to get that stuff, that milk too. And now when I see those same spots with the food, slowly but surely, more and more people out there lining up. You see people driving in cars, come pulling up, opening up they car and stuff, putting boxes of milk and cans and all that stuff. I drove up in my truck. I went up there, I opened up my truck. You seen me, I pulled up cans and stuff. Like, I ain't got no shame in my game. I did it too. I'm like, look, it is what it is. And but it's gonna be so much more of that stuff. Um, it's gonna get to a point where like people not gonna be able to do any of that stuff because um like everyone gonna be hungry and like people just gonna be hungry and starving. So you're not gonna be able to do none of that stuff. But I don't know, man. I just look at I'm just watching just how everything playing out, and while I'm watching how everything playing out, I think the whole point of this conversation, or just like what just like gets me, is I'm paying attention to the people as well, because I'm seeing what's going on, and I'm looking at the people like, well, why anyone else ain't seeing what the fuck I'm seeing? Like I know I'm not throwed off. Like I could be a little strange and weird at times, or whatever, but I'm not throwed off. I'm not crazy. If you pay attention to details, you notice there's a lot of stuff going on. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Even simple shit like this. Like every time I go to the market, I try to buy a case of waters, and most times they be on sale. Like these, the bowling basket. So it be like um you get like two for like $5 or whatever. So every time I go to the market, I try to buy like two cases and just like keep them, just keep stocking up on water and stuff. And as I'm doing my yard and everything, I got like these tubes and pipes. Whereas though I was sitting there looking, and I was like, if I get like some type of like some barrel, like a plastic barrel, whatever, clean it out real good, I can set up some type of like water trapping system from the rain, and like connect it to the roof and have it come down and just like build like a homemade filtration system within it, so it can all leak into the plastic barrel or whatever, and just keep it. That's like I'll be thinking about a whole bunch of stuff like that, because I find it odd that, and maybe it's just like being like a city boy or whatever, but I find it odd that I don't see too many people in the cities and stuff in urban communities, like black people, like more on the survival prep stuff. Like, because it's not just a white thing. It's not just like it's a human being thing. Like people been before all this modern technology, everyone had to live like that. Everyone had to use like their hands and the means around them and everything. Like, and truth be told, it's really, if you think about it, when you're doing all that stuff like that, it's on the lines of like engineering and all, because that's how I kind of look at it. Like, because like you building stuff, you doing certain stuffs, and so I look at it like more on like engineering, construction. So I don't know, I just kind of fiddle with it, and I think that I try to break the stigma, the stigma of, especially being a content creator, because maybe there is a bunch of black people who doing that stuff, but you don't see a lot of black content creators. like talking about it. There are some, but it's like I like working. I like talking about numbers and stats and overall majority and overall. You don't see a lot of black people talking about that stuff. Let's say. Mello said, "Good day. What's going on? How you feel?" The problem is, cowardice. Everyone sees what's going on. They're just so afraid of losing their comforts. You know what's so funny? I said the same thing. I was kind of alluding to the same stuff. Like, do people see what's really going on, and they just not like acting on it because they like comfortable, or they just maybe afraid to question stuff because they might lose certain things and all that. And I don't know. So, and for that reason, that's the reason why I took the entrepreneur route, because I I see so much stuff. I can't hold back. I can't um like censor myself for real, for real. You know what I mean, like, you gotta do what you gotta do, like on these platforms, so to speak. But just like overall in life in general, like I'm not one of them people who talk like that cancel culture stuff and all that. If you can't do certain stuff, so that's why I took the route where as though I had to be an entrepreneur. I had to like work for myself, be my own boss, make my own money, so I don't gotta worry about um like losing stuff or whatever. Because when you talk about people who are being afraid and losing stuff, it really comes down to money. Like, when you get into the meat and potatoes of it, it's all about money. And they're afraid and losing stuff because they're going to lose their money, they're going to lose their income, they might lose their livelihood, and all that. And all that takes money. So, um, that's why I've asked A1 to try to do what they can to invest in yourself. I think investing in yourself is key, and that's kind of, it segues into this whole conversation as well, because you're not gonna like, all right, to be fully prepared and do stuff, and try to get the best possible outcome, and doing things, it takes money. This whole world is about money. I can't stand it. I wish it wasn't, but it's about money. We live here. We gotta abide by the laws of the land while we're here, to keep our livelihood, so to speak. So we need income, we need revenue. And I'm on here talking about preparedness, doing what you can and all that stuff. Now, there is ways you can do stuff on budgets and stuff. Like, because I'm all about a budget. I'm That's how I live, for real, for real. Like, I micromanage my money to the T, and like try to get the best possible outcomes for the little bit a little bit I can spend or whatever. And that's even with, like, what when I'm doing like construction and stuff, when I'm buying like material and all that. Now, I don't like go like, I buy good material, to do the work or whatever, but I'm not buying the most expensive stuff. I'm, looking for all the deals and sales and all that stuff. Um, and that's how I kind of live my life. And to be, I got that from my dad, but so we need money to survive. So you gotta do what you gotta do for you and your family to be able to get that. Now, when you look at people like a Bill Gates, like a Mark Zuckerberg. Um, Not so much the Waltons because their money was passed down. Not the Rockefellers because their money was passed down. The Rothschilds, but when you kind of look at like all these newer people or whatever, um, a lot of people took chances and risks, and that's pretty much like what the quote unquote American dream about, like taking a chance, taking a risk to achieve that, that ultimate goal, or whatever. And when you think about like a lot of these billionaires and powerful people, a lot of them didn't graduate from college. A lot of them didn't even graduate from high school. Um, More modern billionaires who were self-made, they took chances, they took risks. Like a Jeff Bezos and people, they start up companies and all that. Some of them had failures until um others, was more successful. Where I'm getting at is, I think we as people, we got to start being more like that. A lot of us are so comfortable within our jobs that we are afraid to take the chance to see if we really can, succeed. I think because truth be told, it could be more and more of us who are successful as, you know, 6 figure earners, 7 figures, 8 figures, whatever you want to call it. Um, if we ventured out and maybe start up that business or that idea that we thought we wanted or whatever, it's like we get caught up in a lot of times the people we get caught up in people in our ears like, no, don't do that, because if you do that, like if you quit your job or if you try to do that, then you're not going to make money, you're going to lose all that stuff, you're going to lose your house, all that. And that is a possibility. All that stuff that's very true, so I don't want to say it's not. But that's the whole point of risk. You take that risk, and more times than any, if you work hard and stay true to um your goal, then 9 times out of 10 you're going to succeed. Like, and you may not succeed to the heights that you want to succeed, but there's going to be some success. Like, there's always success in hard work and dedication. Like, that's so we need to start doing more stuff like that. And if we did all that crap, do all that, then maybe more of us can get in a position where as though we can be financially stable, where we can protect ourselves and be more on the side, whereas though we're able to buy bunkers or build bunkers and do all that extra stuff. Because my whole my whole goal now is uh for me and my family, my immediate family, like my brothers and everybody, to get out the state. um like me and my brother, we one of my brothers, we moved out the city. One of my other brothers still in there, my mom in the city. um we try and all get out the state, move somewhere like in a rural area, buy some land, and just like live peacefully, whatever that means. Like I'm just tired of worrying about what's next, like what they gonna try to spring on us next and all that stuff. um and if you think about it, a lot of people who don't live in cities, uh who are more self-sustained, because you got towns and all that stuff who suffering from stuff, but people who are more self-sustained, they not really worrying about a SHTF hit fan situation. They not worrying about like a grid breakdown as much as we would, because they already live like that. Like those Amish type communities and all that, who don't really worry about power and all that. They've been living like that for generations. So if the grid go down, there ain't really nothing for them. They already do stuff like that. So I'm trying to get used to that idea of like getting off grid, getting off the land. You know, no, I'm not getting off the land, living off the land, and just getting out of the city life and just relaxing. Like when we go camping and I fish and everything, that's like so peaceful to me. When I go to the Amish village and I be at the creek, just like watching the river and the water and everything flowing, I just be sitting there. It's just like real peaceful, and I just want to wake up every day and be able to just like sit, like maybe somewhere like at the banks of a river and just bask. But mm, oh snap, Mother said you got stuck in Africa in a pandemic. Was it nice over there though? I ain't gonna lie. Someone like me, I probably would have liked being over in Africa during the pandemic. Depending on where you was at, but it's a lot of beautiful places in Africa. That's another thing too. I was talking to my homie the other day about Africa. The same day I was telling y'all yesterday when we was talking, I had to hang up on him. But one of our conversations was about Africa, and I was saying stuff like that too. I was like, Africa would be a nice place to go to live, and he was like, "You want to go to Africa? Like that? Like you want to go to Africa?" And I'm like, "See, there you go, right there." I said, "That's the American, standard. Like they fooled us so much. Like they warped our brains so much that we who are from Africa, frown on the fact of trying to go back to Africa. They make these Americanized movies about Africa. They make them look like they live in villages and huts. They ain't got running water and all that stuff so damn much that we're afraid to go over there. Whereas though you got places like that, but you got places like that all over the world. There's always going to be poorer parts of the country in every region of the earth. That's just how it is. But Africa is beautiful. Like I know people who travel over there and go over there all the time and looking at pictures and all that stuff. And I watch videos all the time of people in Africa. Shoot, shout out to my old head O'Shea Duke Jackson. He over there in Africa right now, and it's beautiful. I never been personally, but I would love to go over there and just to get and I hear from every person that I talk to who ever been in Africa, they always say that once you go over there, like you look at when you come back to America, you look at it differently. Like you just look at life differently, and that is true because I've never been to Africa, but I've traveled the world. I ain't traveled all over the world, but I've traveled. I've made my rounds, and when you do different, like go to different like countries and see different cultures, like you do look at different, and that's probably why I'm like that compared to like a lot of my peers that I grew up with because I was fortunate enough to travel and all that stuff growing up. Um, Thanks to like my God family from church, and because we went somewhere every year, and they still travel every damn year, and so I when I was with them growing up, they took me in, and because of them, I got exposed to a whole different way of life, like because I'm from North Philly, from the projects, everybody like from the slums, and my God family, they like middle class black people who actually made it out the hood and like moved to Jersey and all that stuff. So like the burbs of Jersey, like Glassboro, New Jersey, and that's probably like the way I. That's why I'm probably so balanced because I know street, but I'm like real cool and laid back and want better in life because I experienced it. I seen it. I seen a better way of living, and it's like I wish more of us as Black people. I think more if more of us as Black people in America, if we traveled out more or just experienced more, I think we'll just have a whole new outlook on life. Like Malcolm X even said that, like when he traveled to Mecca and came back to the United States, like he just looked at everything differently. He didn't even look at white people the same no more because he realized that you know all white people wasn't evil. And I don't know, man. Melo says some parts are like that, but it's a lot of very nice areas all over Africa if you can afford it. Yeah, I know. I've heard. That's why I want to. So I'm kind of up on the area where I want to settle down on, like where I want to just like retire and live out the remainder of my life if I can. I'm. It's hard. I'm picking between Africa, Canada, um, Thailand, or the Philippines. Like, I'm but one of those places is going to be the place where I just want to just retire and just fall back. So that's why I'm like trying to get all my stuff together now so I can do that because I want to retire like in like another 10 years or so. Maybe like probably eight, probably like 45, 47. Let me see. I'll be 38 next month. So 10 years, I'll be 48. Shit, if it is another 10 years, right? The way this world going. But assuming we all still here, um, by the time I'm about like 45 to 48, I want to settle down in like in one of those places between Africa, Canada, Thailand, or the Philippines. Or Laos. I know I was missing one of them. Laos. Because my best friend Rasmi, she's from Laos. She's Laotian. And it's so funny because I'm always watching like documentaries and all that stuff and like stuff over there and like different regions. Like I'm real weird like that. I do stuff like that, and it just be looking peaceful. And people always be saying like the work, like oh, but you don't got like you got to work for your stuff. You got to do this and do that. You got to walk, bro. I don't mind doing any of that stuff. Like that's if I can trade that off for peace of mind, I don't care. Like that's a perfect trade off for me. Like it may not be for everyone else, but for me, like my nickname is hard work. I don't mind hard work, and just for a peace of mind. But I mean, you said what's up with Bill Gates? Well, Bill Gates, that was like the beginning of the video, but pretty much Bill Gates is um trying to. God bless you. Bill Gates is trying to control uh all the world's food source. Um, and right now he's owning up all America's farmland. He owned over quarter million acres of farmland here in the United States, all across the country. I put up the map earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. You said all the green, all the green is Bill Gates territory. He owned all that. Like that's whole states. like, like that's the like that's all of California, all of Arizona, uh, all of Colorado. Like he's owning the whole states as far as the farmland, which means no one else can farm in that land but him. Like so, like all those private farm owners that was there, they're excavated. They're growing. They out of there. Finito. And did y'all know that Bill Gates also had investments in the Beyond Meats? I didn't know that either. So he's owning all this farmland. He's investing in agriculture. He's investing in the Beyond Meats, and he's been talking about the artificial meats and all that stuff for a while, which I should have put two and two together. I should have known that he should had something to do with it because he has been talking about that stuff for a while, as far as like the Beyond type meats and all that stuff. So it's like, but he admitted to loving this barbecue joint in California he always go to. He said anytime he in LA is this barbecue place that he loves, but he want us to eat the fake meat. So when you dig into his history, into Planned Parenthood, into who his parents was, um, you start figuring out that there were new Genesis, and I don't really want to talk about that stuff because you get striked on here, and I probably already said too much. But like for the what's understood don't got to be explained, and pretty much just he just want to be like control the food source. And I was saying last night, I'm gonna say it again. The Christian movies Left Behind. It's a 3 movie series with Kirk Cameron that came started in the late '90s. Watch them. They all on YouTube too. All 3 of the movies. You can look them up. I don't know if any of y'all watched them, but they good movies. But on the very first movie, before like the rise of the Antichrist and all that stuff, they was doing the exact same thing with the food and all that stuff, and people trying to like have a formula. It was a doctor on the movie, but he had like this formula for the crops and food and everything because the food was having like the world was having like a food crisis. And this is not me saying that Bill Gates is Nikolai Carpathia on the movie, who's the Antichrist, but what I'm saying is he trying to control the damn food source, like how those billionaires on the movie was before they got backstabbed by the dude who revealed himself to be the Antichrist. So it's like last year, November 2021, the United Nations unveiled a statue, what they call, it's for some type of peace or something. But the statue was actually from Daniel 7 and Revelation 13. And um, people just looking at it like it's just nothing. I mean, you got people who were making videos, and even myself, I made videos like, why did the United Nations just unveil a statue that looked like the mark of the beast of Revelation? But so what I'm getting at is all this stuff happening right now in real time, and it's like I don't believe in coincidence. like you can miss me with that. I was naive before. I was naive, but life lessons and things that's just having me being an eye opener or a spiritual awakening, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but makes me realize that there are no coincidence. Things are um ordained, preordained. Things are planned. Things are quotas gotta be met, and this stuff happening right now. So yeah, that's what it is. But do you think that what time soon in return? Uh, well, truth be told, what I think, I can tell you a lot. What I think, I just, I hate saying the feel word. Like, I just believe that, um, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen next. All that stuff. This is not me making predictions. This is not me saying all of that stuff. I'm just saying things just don't happen for no reason. There are no coincidences. Um, I'm a believer of God in the Bible, and I just feel like a lot of stuff happening right now. I said the word "feel" again, but I feel like a lot of things happening right now is just happening to the point where as though um is things being put in play like we in those last days. So just got to prepare accordingly. So that's all. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen next, but like we say in boxing, and I find that if you boxing is I love that I started boxing because it just taught me like boxing. You can use boxing as life strategy because it's all the same. But if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. You know, um, you stay prepared, you ain't gotta get prepared. And I just make all these videos pretty much to try to bring some awareness to all this stuff. Try to bring something different from me being a African American, um, and talking more about this stuff, so people can see that more and more, Black people are talking about it, and hopefully someone can get something out of it and do something about it. Pretty much, as far as preparing their capabilities within their means, with whichever, however, you know, that may go or whatever. So, yeah, it's about that time. All right, night, night, because I gotta go too. But I enjoyed the live. I will holler at you guys. God bless. Stay prayed up, stay prepped up, and I will holler at you. Peace.